Platinum, the shiny currency that makes Warframe's wheels turn. Without it, we wouldn't be able to get our coveted frame fashion, slots for our seemingly endless mastery grind, or just to flex on our friends. There are only two main ways of getting said shiny currency. One is to swipe your credit card, which I would only recommend you do when a discount coupon shows up, or trade with people. So in this video, we will go through 5 platinum farming methods that will make you consistent profits through trade. No, they aren't necessarily the quickest way to riches. The only real way to do that is through blind luck on the Riven market, but given time, they will make you rich. This video won't be a deep dive on how to fully optimize these methods, as this is more of a general overview of them. So if I have missed some things, feel free to put your thoughts in the comments below. Let us begin. First are the Deepmine bounties in Fortuna, and these will only be accessible to you after you have completed the New War quest. Compared to other bounty missions in the past, Deepmine bounties are extremely quick to do. You can get full bounty runs done in about 5 to 8 minutes with the right group. And Deepmine bounties can be a steady source of platinum for you because they provide access to a lot of sought after arcanes that many players need. Arcanes like Secondary Encumber, Primary Blight, and Primary Frostbite, and so on. These can all be acquired as bounty rewards while doing the runs, or directly from Nightcap for Fergalite, which is the currency that you will gather as you do the bounties. On average, you will get between 15 to 19 Fergalite per run, depending on whether you are doing the Steel Path bounty or the normal ones. You can then use this Fergalite to buy any of the available arcanes from Nightcap for 10 Fergalite each, for a total of 210 Fergalite per full arcane. During the bounty missions, you will gather mushrooms that can be found around the caves, and you will also get mushrooms as extra bounty rewards per stage. If you have already reached the rank of Seeker, which is rank 3 with Nightcap, and you just want to farm these for the arcanes, then you can choose to compost these additional mushrooms for Fergalite. You will only get 1 additional Fergalite per mushroom that you compost, but you can get upwards of 10 mushrooms at the end of your bounty, provided that you have found all of them in your mission and have completed all the bonus objectives. Your Fergalite will rack up pretty fast, and soon the arcanes will be pouring in. Deepmine bounties have a solid speed to profit ratio, and you can easily net decent plat from running these, and they aren't too boring either. On screen you will see the current prices of these arcanes at the time of recording this video, although they may be slightly different to what you will experience depending on how the market looks at the time. Aside from the arcanes, you will also get large amounts of endo as bounty rewards, steel essence from the Steel Path bounties, acolyte arcanes, and more, which is always a welcome addition to our inventories. This next method is one of the most staple ways that we can generate platinum, and usually will be enough to cover the basic platinum costs of Warframe on its own, and that is Relic Cracking. Relic Cracking is one of, if not the most accessible form of platinum generation because it can be easily done by baby tenno and veterans alike. Relic Cracking gives us access to the loot that all Warframe players need and want: primed parts. Many players cannot be bothered with having to farm each of these parts individually and would rather buy them with platinum to save time, and this is where you come in. Void fishes rotate all the time, and some missions are better than others for relic cracking as they are naturally faster to do. However, if speed is what you are looking for, then still one of the fastest methods to date will be to use capture missions to open relics. Ideally, you want a group that all has fast frames like Titania, Vault, Gauss, or Uriel, for example, to finish the mission as quickly as possible. Get in, capture the target, grab your reactant, and leave. And then pray that RNG will give you a good part from your relic to sell. When it comes to selling your primed parts, I would recommend using Warframe Market to price and sell your newly acquired loot. It's so much safer than using the in-game trade chat, which is often riddled with scammers. Relic cracking will mostly be small but consistent profits that will build up over time alongside other methods of platinum farming, but this is something that every Warframe player will engage with at some point in their Warframe career. Next up, it's Arbitrations. Arbitrations are a whole different video on their own, as they can be quite in-depth, so I'm not going to go too deep into how to optimize these runs, otherwise we will be here for a while. Arbitrations are alerts that rotate on an hourly basis across various mission types and tile sets. Not all Arbis are created equal though, and sometimes it's best to wait until some of the better tile sets show up, like defense missions or interceptions for example. Unlike void fishes, they can only be attempted once, so be careful about leaving them too early by mistake. So why would we do these missions? The answer, my dear Tenno, is Shrimple, Vitus Essence. Vitus Essence will drop from arbitration drones within these missions, and then we can use this Vitus Essence to exchange for various rewards at the Arbiters of Hexus in the relay. From here, we can get galvanized mods which are used in almost every build, and will sell for roughly 10 platinum per unranked mod. This is also a phenomenal Kuva farm if you are into rolling ribbons, because you can just keep buying Kuva from this vendor and it isn't capped. Generally, the defense and interception arbitrations will be the best options to do these because you can get the wave rewards every 3 waves. This includes things like Ayatan sculptures, Omniformer blueprints, arcanes, and so on. So as with most missions in Warframe, the longer that you do your arbitration, the better your rewards will be and thus your profit. Now, corrupted mods are something that exist in every Warframe build and are usually a core part of how we design our builds overall. These mods fall into the category of it's something that people need but really don't want to farm. Luckily, you have the solution to this problem. Corrupted vault farming on Deimos. Which vaults exactly? These funky looking doors that are found exclusively on the Orokin Derelict tileset, not to be confused with the Orokin tileset in the Void. This tileset we can typically find on Deimos, and as for the best mission to do this in, that would be Horrend. These mods sell for anywhere between 10 plat unranked up to 20 plat or more depending on the day, and this is also a staple way of earning platinum, especially if you are newer in your Warframe journey. So how do we do these? Inside the dojo, you can get blueprints for dragon keys. These keys will each have a debuff associated with them and are used to open said vaults. Then simply equip them in your gear wheel, head into the mission, and find the vault. Here's where it can get a bit tricky if it's just you doing this. Only one of the 4 key types can open said vault. So if you don't have the right frame, running around with 4 of those keys equipped can be a little painful because of all the debuffs. Some frames that are really good options to pick would be Nejar, as Nejar can help mitigate a lot of the negative effects. Rhino because of his damage resistance, as well as Titania because of her speed. However, choose wisely with Titania, as taking all 4 keys on her can be a bit rough, especially if your build isn't up to scratch. Ideally, the easiest way and also the fastest way to do this would be to get a group together. 1 or 2 people takes a fast frame like Titania, Vault, Gauss, or whatever they have available, and focuses on finding the vault, while someone else handles the keys with a frame like Nejar or Rhino. That way you stand a much better chance of finding the vault quicker than if it's just you. If you really want to do these solo, then Nejar will be your best bet. If you find that you are taking too long to find the vault on a solo run or even in a group, then I would recommend extracting and then retrying, as its location randomizes every time. Alternatively, if you have the Parallax landing craft, you can then use the Orokin Eye air support ability to find the vaults faster, as it will then mark it for you. Once you find the vault and have the correct key, open it up, interact with the corrupted artifact at the end of the room, and then extract. This will then consume the dragon key, and at the end of each run, you will get one of the corrupted mods which is unveiled at the end. In this case, it was Critical Delay, which is going for about 15 plat at the time. Therefore, the more of these that you do, and the quicker that you do them, the faster your plat can rack up. Fortunately, you don't need to do these in Steel Path. You can absolutely do them on the base star charts, so the debuffs from the dragon keys are a little more bearable. Just don't forget to unequip the dragon keys when you're done with your runs, as they will continue to affect you as long as they are in your gear wheel. The last one on this list has to be arguably one of the most profitable ways of making platinum in Warframe, and that would be Void Cascade. Unfortunately, Void Cascade is not that accessible to newer players, as it in itself is a very complex game mode that does require you to have decent equipment, amps, and also good mods and frames to survive for longer periods of time. And just like Arbitrations, can fill a whole video on its own. But there is a reason why so many players choose to do Void Cascade for making plat, and that is, of course, for the insane amount of arcanes that can drop from Thraxes in these missions. These arcanes can be sold as is for platinum on the market, with some of them reaching decent price points, like the ones over here. These prices are based on the market at the time of recording this video and could be slightly different to what you see, but there will always be a good way of earning platinum. The other arcanes that drop from these runs, which don't sell for too much, you can easily turn in via Arcane Dissolution at Lloyd in the Sanctum Anatomica to roll for better arcanes to sell on the market. Ideally, we want to do this in Steel Path because arcanes are affected by mod drop chance boosters, and Steel Path already gives you increased chances to drop mods. To make this even more profitable, it is best done with a mod drop chance booster. The longer we stay in the mission, the more Thraxes will spawn, and then the more arcanes that can drop. Aside from the Thrax arcanes, if you do this in Steel Path, which I would recommend that you do, you will also get a lot of Steel Essence as well as the Acolyte arcanes that will inevitably drop the longer you do this mission. Resources for your helmets, and much more. Tie all of this in with an Omnia Fissure to crack relics while doing this mission, and you have a hella profitable game mode that will consistently make you platinum. Warframe is a vast game, and naturally these aren't the only ways to make platinum, but there are methods that I have found to be the most consistent. There is no single fast way to Mountains of Plat in Warframe, and that's part of the appeal. You can easily swap between any of the methods that you find the most fun to do. So which is your preferred way of earning plat? Put it down in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching to the end. Until next time, stay safe, Tenno, and I shall see you in the next one.